Hello. Let's do an audio test. How are we doing? Sounds alright to me. You know, I'm thinking of getting a new mouse, one that's silent, because you can hear the that quite clearly, can't you? It's not a quiet mouse by any means, but that was deliberate. Like, I deliberately got a mouse that was loud because it's funny to occasionally be like, "It's not working." But to be honest, it's not really worth that, I find. I make that joke a lot less than I have to edit out clicky noises, so I think the next mouse I get will be a silent one. Plus this one is like really loud. It's much louder than I expected. So that's all good. Hey Teddy. So next time I need a new mouse, I'll be going for a silent one, I think. Wired, of course. I don't like wireless mice, apart from the fact that they can just randomly disconnect. I had bad experiences of when I used to lose them. Well, not lose them, but drop them. And they'd fall off stuff and break, and it was awkward. Because that was back when I had a laptop. It's less of a problem when I'm not carrying it around, but... My roommates and I made it a point to get really clicky keyboards because they pick up over our headset, so I get it. Well, I've got a mechanical keyboard, which is loud. You know, it's like... It's not a quiet keyboard, but it's so much more precise. But I can't say that with a mice. You know, a silent mouse is about as precise as a non-silent mouse, I found. Whereas I cannot deny that a mechanical keyboard is more precise. It's more delicate. How many times have I gone, oops, didn't mean to jump then? Because I'll have my thumb lightly resting on it and I'll just depress the space bar by like a millimeter and it'll jump. Anyway, let's crack on, shall we? Hello and welcome back to Garen River vs. Live PowerWash Simulator. Mini-Me is still not working. I was trying to fiddle with it before the stream, and although the website seems to be working, for some reason the browser source will not work on OBS, so I don't know what to do. I just looked into an alternative where it's all done through plugins, and that didn't work either, so for now Mini-Me is currently off the table. I might try and come up with something for the birthday stream on Wednesday. But we are continuing with the bonus jobs. We did the Gnome Fountain. This time we're doing the mini golf course. Lady Pip. This isn't going to get irritating at all when she messages me. Hey, Ranta. So it's nice and cold today. I like it when it's cold, because then I can wrap up all warm. Okay. So what am I dealing with here? So the grass is fine, but there are all these little bits. There's a dragon. There's a snake. There's an archery range. There's this. Battlements, more battlements, up to a castle at the top, and then a staircase coming back down again. Righto. So I guess I will start at the top. Start at the top and work down. I think would be the best way. Compared to last time where I started at the bottom and worked up. Oops. Didn't mean to walk off that. Blimey, you're actually here. Wow. Management made us speak old world to all external contractors, and then what do I know? One never turns up. We also have to give ourselves fancy names and prance about telling people that they are putteth well. Or that they putteth well. I hope they pay you well for it. Come on. Get on the flag. Damn it. There. I love using my telekinesis to make my ladder fly to me. It's like that character from Misfits, whose telekinesis extends only to, like, milk products. Mine only extends to ladders. And maybe stools, if I'm in the right mood. If only this game had water physics and the water ran down the walls to slightly clean everything below. That's the logic I'm going with, that... or, to be honest, it's less slightly cleaning the stuff below, and it's more slightly dirtying it. Because it's grimy water that'll run down. Oh, ninth hole castle. This is all one bloody big thing. Okay. Didn't realise that. Hey, Luca. Better that than starting at the bottom and the stuff up top makes the stuff you already cleaned dirty again. That's my logic with starting at the top. Like, theoretically, it makes more sense. Oh, good. My ladder's in the way now. Yeah, just piss off, ladder. Ladder. Piss off. Oh, there's a gnome in there. I didn't even see him. The people in this town procrastinate almost as much as I do. You're not supposed to let the golf course get this dirty before hiring a cleaning service. Well, this is the dirtiest town in England. Muckingham. And frankly, if you call a place Muckingham, you know, what do you expect? Sorry. I left it muted. I always completely forget.
What's that even mean?
What am I missing? I'm surprised the castle's all one massive bloody thing. This game doesn't normally do that. There we are. So how is everybody? Did you have a nice weekend? Oh, that's the last hole. Of course it is. You have to putt it through the castle. And there's the ball. Oh my god, you can putt it. Just a bit of pain whenever I move my head too fast. Are you okay? What happened? Yeah, that was the bit I was missing. Nice. Nice. Knew I missed a bit because it it seemed like I got everything and it wasn't dinging. I rewatched the Lord of the Rings films, which are as good as ever. Great to hear. They are very good films. Did you watch the ordinary or the extended versions? Because apart from a few scenes in the extended versions that I always skip, I love the extended. Extended, brilliant. The scenes I always skip are in the Two Towers. I skip Eowyn singing. And in Return of the King, I skip the I believe it's the opening scene. To be honest, it might be in the original as well. I haven't seen the originals in so long. I only know what's in the extended. Where Smeagol and Deagle have a bit of a disagreement. I always skip those bits, but the rest I love. I'm not a fan of her singing. I think she's a good actress. I don't think she's a good singer. But I can't think of any other scenes I skip. They're pretty damn solid all around. I don't think I skip any in the Fellowship. Maybe the one of Bilbo and Frodo in Rivendell, just because, yeah, like I've seen it. I know what happens. I don't need to see that one again. But I think that depends on whether I'm doing anything else while I'm watching it. If I'm doing something else, I won't skip that because it's quite brief. Oh god, look at all of that. This may take me a while. Oh, stretching. But you know who's singing I never skip? Pippins. Because that, like, the few times he sings is just really good. Another whole stream for one level. I hope not, but maybe. At least I feel like I'm making more progress in this one. And now I've got to go back the other way. It's the outside of the wall. Ah. So there's the parapet wall and the battlement wall are two different things. Okay, everything up here is clean. I guess I will head down the back stairs. Pippin is pretty good. The Hobbit drinking songs are quite fun in general, and the throne room theme is really good. I absolutely agree. I can probably sing the whole throne room song by heart. Home is behind, the world ahead. And there are many paths to tread through shadow to the edge of night until the stars are all alight. Mist and shadow Cloud and shame all shall fade. All shall fade. Thank you very much. I think that's a really good song. And the fact that Pippin came up with it on the spot, this hobbit who's like essentially lived a life of joy for like 40 years, because hobbits like live longer than average, so like Frodo's about 50, I think Pippin's about 40. You both dropped? That's awkward. But yeah, for somebody who'd like lived a carefree life for 40 years until he got dragged into this by his second cousin once or twice removed on his mother's side, if I remember correctly. He did really well fitting in as the Squire of Gondor. We compliment your singing and Twitch wasn't having it. Well, you may be getting more of it on Wednesday's stream, because I'm going to be having... I'm probably going to have, like, iTunes playing music for me, but... it's not copyrighted. Sorry, it is copyrighted, so I can't have it playing on the stream, but I'll be listening to music in the background, and I might be singing along with it. It actually kicked you from the stream. Wow. Yeah, at least that doesn't sound like it's a me problem. Not that that's any consolation to you guys. Hello, Cheese Doodles fan. How's it going? What is a cheese doodle? So when you draw something with cheese, or is that like a type of food? Okay, I'm gonna need the turbo. Wasn't even aiming for that. I've been looking on YouTube for a full performance of The Cat and the Moon from the books. The Cat and the Moon? That doesn't ring a bell. It's been a very, very long time since I read the books. Hi, Billy. Nice. Back to the 15. Oh, damn, you have to, like, ramp it. You have to ramp it from there into there. That's the hole. That's hole 8. Frodo sings it in The Prancing Pony. I didn't know that. Hey, Chuck bro. Did I ding all of this? Didn't ding the flag. I dinged the flag. Haven't dinged the border. Dinged the border. Dinged. Oh no, I haven't dinged that bit because that stretches all the way around, but I've dinged that bit and those. So this bit's next. The only drinking songs that appear in the films are in The Green Dragon, sung by Merry and Pippin, and then in I think it's in Medisild after the beginning of The Return of the King. Again, Merry and Pippin, but it's after Pippin's looked in the Palantir, so he's a bit distracted. And it serves as a really nice sort of juxtaposition. Like, do you remember what he was like in the first film? Well, this is what he is like now. And it's just really well done, I think. But no, that doesn't ring a bell. So I don't think that was in the films. All this is done. The parapet wall. This parapet wall is not done. Oh, this because it's the crenellations, not the parapet wall. Oh, it could be in the Hobbit films. And I'm not. I don't like those. Yeah, there was a lot more singing in the Hobbit films. I think there was a lot more studio interference. Perhaps so, but that seems just strange to me if there was. Oh, so we got the guy who made those 3 absolute slammer blockbuster movies essentially on his own as far as like studio interference went. So he's doing the prequels? Well, we definitely need to interfere the hell out of this. Sorry to hear that, Billy. My issue with the Hobbit films is that they just felt very childish and very forced filmy stuff, you know? Like with Toriel and the Stephen Fry character and the knockoff Grimmer character, you know, is a lot in there that really didn't need to be and didn't contribute anything good. But when you're stretching a tiny book out into 3 films, obviously you need to add a load of stupid, pointless subplots and side villains, don't you? Anyway, I don't want to complain. But yeah, that's why I wasn't as keen on the Hobbit films. But the Lord of the Rings films, I think, absolutely still hold up. To the point where I was really worried when Amazon were like, oh yes, we're going to remake the Hobbit, the Lord of the Rings films on Amazon Prime. And then they didn't. Instead, they went with the Rings of Power, which I have not seen because I don't care. Meanwhile, the opposite happened with Star Wars, where the cast and crew didn't speak up as much as they should have. Yeah. I'm not a fan of Star Wars either, so I can't really speak to that sort of thing. I forgot Stephen Fry was in those films. It was an unnecessary addition. The thing with the Lake Town villains is that they're so cartoonishly evil and ugly. It's like, oh, let's give him a giant monobrow and make him really fat, and it's like, oh, let's just make him grimmer, but make him dress up as a woman at one point because that's funny. And it's like, oh god, please don't. And I believe the Grimmer knockoff only actually got any kind of retribution in the extended Hobbit film. I believe in the original one he just gets away with the gold dressed as a woman. Whereas in the extended one he gets eaten by an ogre or a troll. Yeah, by a troll, sorry, there aren't ogres, are there? Thinking of D&D. I've been watching D&D stuff lately, so I'm thinking of ogres. But yeah, he gets eaten by a troll. And like that's the only comeuppance he gets. He gets like caught a few times, but he doesn't get anything more than just like being told off and yeah, anyway. I don't want to complain. I said I don't want to complain, and there's me complaining. Take it the outside of this is clean. Oh, of course it is. It's perfectly clean after that point, isn't it? This is actually why George and Harrison are such good... the original trilogy did as well. They did writing wise because the cast and crew were willing to speak up when when a line was badly written. By the prequels, George had a lot more fame, so the wholly new cast and crew were more hesitant. This is why George and Harrison are such good friends. Harrison's not afraid to speak his mind, and George appreciates that. You sound like me talking about certain franchises I love that fell off hard. Yeah, I'm trying to be less critical and complainy about stuff these days. I try a lot more to take an attitude of, I didn't like it, but if you did, that's great. It has left me very pessimistic, that's the term. Very pessimistic about adaptations and stuff. What am I missing on this? It's just on the battlements. Where the hell is it? Like there's a Half-Life adaptation and a Mass Effect adaptation, and it's just going to be so easy for them to screw these things up. I don't see it there. Where the hell is it? This looks perfectly clean to me. Aha. No? Come on. Thanks for dropping by, Billy. I don't see it. That's okay, you can lurk if you want. Or if you need to. I don't see what I'm missing on this one. It's got to be on the outside. Is it from this angle? There? I have no idea where the bit I'm missing on this battlement is. There, apparently. Whatever. Bloody hell. You know, one adaptation that I don't think I ever want to see, unless by some miracle I'm involved with it. The Belgariad and the Malorian, which are of course the books that my name is from, Garen, and my username Garian and Reva. All three of those are names from the books. The Belgariad and the Malorian, which are 5-part fantasy epics by David Eddings. Highly recommend them, by the way, amazing books. Not biased. Anyway, so I don't want to ever see them adapted for two reasons. One, because they are my favourite books. I used to read them when I was a child, and when I sort of started reading stuff for fun, they became my favourite books, and they're still my favourite books. And I have such strong images of what I picture the characters like Garion and Sinedra and all of these, how I picture them to be. I do not want to see how they get portrayed, because like you might get them portrayed as, say, like, I think that Aragorn is a pretty Viggo Mortensen is a very good casting for Aragorn. Ian McKellen is a great Gandalf, but I'm sure there are other ones that I can't think of off the top of my head that are not good casting. Stuff that isn't Lord of the Rings, for a start. Lord of the Rings was very well cast in general. So, for example, the adaptation of The Witcher with Henry Cavill. And I know he was cast because he petitioned for it, because he's a big fan of the games, but he's terrible casting for it. He's a very good actor, don't get me wrong. Terrible casting for Geralt of Rivia. And I don't even like The Witcher, and I know he's terrible casting. So I don't want to see someone who's like big at the time get a role that they are absolutely not suited for. Another one is I think it's Bella Ramsey got cast as Ellie in The Last of Us, again on HBO. Actually, no, I think Witcher was Netflix, not HBO. But yeah, she got cast in that. She doesn't look anything like Ellie from the games. Like, not even slightly. And again, good actress, not doubting her ability at all. Just doubting her choice as the choice to cast her just because the studio liked her. Because she did a good job in Game of Thrones. So, the concern is that they'll get someone who doesn't look anything like how I picture Sinedra, or someone who they completely miscast Belgarath or anything like that. You know, it won't ruin it, but it'll mean I can never look up like art of those characters. To be honest, I don't look up art of those characters. I don't need to, because I've got such strong ideas of how they look in my head. But it means I'll never be able to without seeing what I consider to be I could consider to be a bad casting job. But the other issue, the main issue, the bigger issue is what about pronunciation? Because of course my name is Garen from the Belgariad, and more prominently in the Malorian. What if, when they're making the TV show, they decide, yeah, it's pronounced Jaren. For the rest of my life, I'll have people mispronouncing my name with confidence. Because at the moment, people mispronounce it with uncertainty. They'll be like, is it Jaren? No, it's Garen. Oh, okay. Is that Welsh? No, it's from a book. And if there is the adaptation and they decide to pronounce it Jaren, every time I meet a new person, they'll be like, Jaren, like from the Belgariad. No, Garen, like from the Belgariad. And it's gonna haunt me forever. And it's like in Lord of the in the Hobbit, like I always pronounce the Mines of Moria. I pronounced it Moria rather than Moria. Minor thing. I always pronounced it Smorg instead of Smaug. My dad pronounces it Sauron instead of Sauron. You know, so there are all these different pronunciations. So it is there's a very, very decent chance that they would end up pronouncing it differently to the way I pronounce it, and then it would haunt me forever. So that's why, if I'm involved with it, I can make a very strong case for why it shouldn't be Jaren. And the only thing that would be able to override me is like the son and wife of David Eddings, I believe, are still alive. David Eddings sadly passed away, which is such a shame. I really wanted to meet him and be like, hi, I love your books and I was named after them. That would have been great, but sadly. So yeah, that's my main reason. So again, if I'm connected to the adaptations, I'm a lot more supportive of them. If I'm not connected, I never want them to happen. It's just a gamble I'm not willing to take. But yeah, the most common thing people say when they hear my name is, oh, is that Welsh? No, it's from a fantasy novel written by an American. Would you name your own child after a fictional character? I would, absolutely. But I am of the mind that you shouldn't share your planned or potential baby names with anybody apart from your partner before they're decided. So I won't be saying... I do actually keep... And this is 100% true. Like, I actually have it, like... I have a bit of paper that I keep under my keyboard at all times. And I always write on one side any female names that I like, and on the other side any male names I like. And I always write on there any names I encounter that I really like, and it's like, yep, that's a potential baby name for the future. And some of them are not very realistic, but some of them are. And considering my name is Garen, I think a lot of names are more realistic than others might think. So yes, I really like names. At one point, on Discord, I called myself a creative. Oh, what was it on? I can't actually remember the term, but it was like because I have a degree in creative writing, and it was like on a mythologist or something like that, and the idea is it's someone who specializes in names. So, because I find names fascinating, and I have a great interest in names. And the use of names in fiction as well. Onomatologist? It could have been that. I honestly don't recall. It was a while ago I had it. That's what happens to people with unusual names. They get really into names. Wow. But, like, don't read that as I think any name, anything could be a name. Like, I've heard some celebrity child names that are just like, seriously, why would you do that? Mentioning no names, of course. What happens when you have the most generic name around? Whatever you want to happen. You know, like, my interest in unusual names doesn't, like, reduce the worth of more common names. More popular names, one might say, rather than common. Just my own personal interest is all. I think you have mentioned that, yeah, Ranta, because I think in return I mentioned about how my head of house thought that my name was a username. I'm not sure I'd be willing to name a kid after a fictional character, at least not one that sounds obviously fictional. I know firsthand how cruel kids can be to anything weird, and I wouldn't want to take that risk with a child of my own. Well, considering that I've been through it, I got bullied for years. Like, I was really, really horribly bullied at school. And a large part of that was because of my unusual name. But at no point have I ever wanted to change it. You know, they were the ones in the wrong. Why should I get rid of my unique name because some kids are assholes about it, you know? But like, alright, I can raise this question for you as we're talking about like children's names. Would it be wrong to name two children after two characters that, in the fiction that they're from, are a couple? So, like, Aragorn and Arwen, for example. Would it be wrong to name your son Aragorn and your daughter Arwen? Because I've heard varying opinions on this topic. It's not something I'll be willing to do personally. That's fair. No, don't fall off the rock. God, imagine naming your son Jamie and your daughter Cersei. That takes it to a whole different level of weird and wrong. What was the question? Is it wrong to name your children after two fictional characters who, in their fiction, are a couple? Such as Aragorn and Arwen from Lord of the Rings, who get married. And Lucas saying nope, as in no, it's not a problem, or no, you wouldn't do it. After all, if you named your kids after your married grandparents, nobody would bat an eye. I suppose, yeah, that is true. It's not wrong? Yeah, see, there are varying opinions about this. Some people immediately say, oh, it's not wrong. It's just weird. Some people say, yeah, that's an issue. Some people don't. And I find it interesting how people have different opinions about that. No, you wouldn't. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was asking whether it was wrong to not would you personally. But yeah, I work at the entrance of a theme park and I read a lot of names. I've seen names like that. What the hell is this? Oh, it's rust. Bloody hell, I thought it was... well, blood. I wouldn't do it, but I wouldn't judge if someone did. Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to need the turbo for this. Nice and shiny. It's not wrong, I just personally wouldn't. That should clear it up. Yeah, that clears it up. There was also a couple that named their kids after the evolutions. That's weird. And the kids were color coordinated. Oh god. Yeah, I think it's a step too far to name your children after non-human, like non-humanoid. Things or people, characters, whatever. Why name your kids after Pokemon when there are plenty of good human names in the franchise? Very good question. What am I missing on this? That. And the arrows? Yes. Gotcha. Serena, but not something like Lilligant. Yeah, Serena's a pretty name. Name your child Crabominable. Oh my god. Hey Trubbish, your dinner's ready. What was I watching? What was I watching? Where it's like worst things to name your dog. And it's like, if I had a dog, I'd name him Bomb. So that I'd go to the park and shout, Bomb! So yeah, that's how you get arrested. Can't remember what that was from then. Let's go to this one. Why would you ever name your child a whole sentence? Oh, the walls are looking pretty good now. Oh, just stretching. Ow. Oh. Remember, you can also redeem the change clothes reward if you want me to change my gloves and suit. That's only available on this game. Oh, my elbow's a bit achy. Only available on this game for now. There may come a day when you stream another game you can change clothes in. Well, if I ever streamed Tomb Raider, to be honest, I really like it in games when you can do that, when you can change the character's outfit. And I don't mean in a sort of like GTA or Pokemon style, go to the shop, buy clothes of different like t-shirts and stuff in different colors and make your own outfits. I mean like pre-made, just variant outfits. So Spider-Man did it, Tomb Raider did it. There are other examples I can't think of off the top of my head, but I just really like it. It allows you to have some variety while still fitting the world of the game, you know? Gotcha. Dragon Quest 9. In that quest, that's reliant on armor, so we'll be changing your armor layout. Yeah. Ones that have a statistical effect, I probably wouldn't do it, because I wouldn't want someone redeeming it and then changing the armor that I've decided. Mass Effect 2, and I think 3 as well, maybe had it. Stats come before style. Yeah. There have been times when I've played a game and it's like, you know what, the other thing is statistically better, but I prefer this one, so I'm going to keep it. Terraria. Well, something like that. I don't know. That feels different. I think it varies. It varies by the game. Where, like in some, like, because it was Tomb Raider 2 and 3, I think, are the only two that, well, I know for certain 2 does. I don't know about 3. I haven't actually played Rise of the Tomb Raider. Or is that the third one? Dawn of the Tomb Raider? I don't remember. I played the first one and I played the second one. The second one was amazing. And the first one was very good. The second one was amazing. And I haven't played the third one. But the second one, you could change your clothes, and like those are the clothes that you were wearing in the cutscenes and stuff, and that was just so cool. And some of my favorite screenshots from that game are because of like a particular like snow camo suit I was wearing, and it was fantastic. It looked amazing. I'd love to do a series or stream that game at some point just because of how good it was. I think those games are unfairly maligned. Oh, sorry, just scratching my leg. Oh. Hopping out now. Thanks for watching, Forrest. You can always check the VOD if you want to. Oh yeah, considering it's like an archery-based golf thing. Little archery update. I got a new belt for my quiver today, because the belt that came with it was terrible and always came undone, and I lost the belt clips a couple of times, and that was really awkward. But yeah, got a new one now, so it's like adjustable and Not going to fall apart and much easier to put on and release. So I'm looking forward to using that next weekend. Gotcha. Hey, go on YouTube. I'm cleaning a mini golf course. Oh, I've dinged all 3 archers. Nice. Oh, I haven't dinged this dummy. I thought I had. Ah. The real question regarding this game in particular is how did all these players get so dirty? That is a very... Oh, my eye is itchy. That is a very good question. Oh. I sort of gather that there's like dirt storms or something. There's got to be. How else can this... Everywhere in this one town get so dirty and nowhere else does? Okay, that's all done. This wall's next. Volcanic soot is a possible, but it's not soot. It's like, I mean, that's manure. And mud. And moss. Like, I have cleaned volcanic soot, and this is different. Has Game Theorist covered this game? I suppose there is a bit of lore to it, but... Or was it a GT Live thing? Did that, did that. I think I'm missing a bit on here, you know. Game Theory has talked about how dirty the game is. Wow. I am surprised. There we are. Oh, I mean that's terrible design of this this mini golf course, because what child would not see this and go, "Oh look, I could climb it! I could climb it! Look, mummy, I'm climbing!" "No, Timmy, get down from there! You'll hurt yourself." "But I'm climbing, mummy." And then Timmy died. "Oh, I told him not to climb. Didn't I tell him not to climb?" "You did tell him not to climb." I know we moved on from the topic of names, but I'm curious. What process do you use for naming tabletop characters? I go through an extensive process when naming tabletop characters. It all relates to the kind of character they are, the culture they come from. That's a very big part of it. For stuff like Elven or Tiefling, or, you know, characters from a culture like that, specific to a setting, I will use a fancy name generator. Not to pick the name, but to get the idea of the kind of names it generates, so that I can either come up with something of my own that fits, or use bits and pieces from it to come up with one that I like, that is hopefully uniquely mine. Oh, can't get up there. Got it. Did I do that one? I did not. Got it. Did I do the gateway? Yes. Portcullis? Yeah. Good. Steps? No. Are these part of the steps? Yes, they are. Nice. So everything beyond here should be done. Wasn't the kid's name Trubbish? No, this... Timmy was his nickname. They had to stop calling him Trubbish. His name is Trubbish Timmy McLean. That's his name. But they call him Timmy around his friends because he was like, "Mum, don't call me Trubbish. Oh, but little Trubby. Don't call me little Trubby either. Just call me Timmy. But that's your middle name. We only called you that because your grandmother and your grandfather were both called Timmy." No. Call me Timmy. The detailed lore of this one kid who died while climbing a mini golf course. I just pick generic names or use my own name. Is this for the TTRPG characters? I think, because I am, you know, so fascinated by names, I think it's important that the name reflect things without being too telegraphy. that makes sense. What am I missing here? Nothing. Because, like... I'm a vampire called Mr. Krypton. It's like, yeah, really imaginative. And, like, we've had discussions on the Discord and stuff about names. Because in case you're unaware, there is a writer's room on the Garen River Discord where we talk about writing, and this is a topic that we can discuss there if you want. So by all means join the Garen River Discord, link in the description and below the Twitch stream. And then use the React roles to give yourself the writing role. So you can join the writing room. But yes, we have discussed it on there before, and some people on there use like different languages. That's something I also do sometimes, like depending on the subtlety I'm going for. When I played a fire elemental called Fumi, which is French for smoke. And the reason I went for that was because Fumi was essentially a batch-produced fire elemental slave. So she was created by a wizard along with like 12 others at a time, and then intended to be sold, so they didn't need unique names. They just needed something to differentiate them slightly, but he didn't care and wasn't imaginative enough to give them actual names, so he just gave them... the idea was it was like the equivalent of France. So, like, Fumi spoke French. That was her, like, common dialect. Or whatever, but... So, like, the other ones would be called, like, Blaze in French, or Spark, you know, or different fire-related words in French. And that was how he named them. But that's why Fumi was such a sort of on-the-nose name, because that was part of the character, that was part of the point. The names and general appearances were... Sorry, I'm missing something. Oh, wow, I've missed a load of talk. I'd rather we not discuss Elon Musk here, though, guys. I generally try and avoid talking about him as much as humanly possible. Where was I, though? In my current original project, I noticed all three main characters I've named so far had two-syllable names ending in an N, so I decided there was a universal rule for names in their culture. That is a good way of going about it. If you have names in a fictional setting, you can set rules for them. Like, going back to the Belgariad, and this is actually a rule I referenced when I DM'd. Dryads all have a name, they have CE at the beginning of their names, and then an apostrophe, and then sort of the unique part of their name. Every Dryad, I believe, had that as a naming thing. I think? I could be wrong. God, I really need to reread those books. It's been too long. Do I have them on the shelf? No, they're still in my lockup, because I've got most of my stuff in my lockup at the moment, because I moved out of my house a while ago. Anyway, yes, I need to reread those. So that's the thing that I used in my my thing, because Dryads were a part of my setting when I DM'd. So all of the Dryads had CE at the start of their names, including the Dryad goddess, who was Serena, who was the most violent, one of the most violent goddesses, which is a really, really fun to call a violent goddess Serena. Nice subversion of expectation, you know. Ryan and Becca are based off my characters from when I was playing Alter Aeon a whole lot, which was 5+ years ago. I guess the Rovers are still pissed off. Or I make the names puns. That's something you can do, yeah? Sorry, the chat's going quite fast, and I'm trying to clean, and I can't clean and read at the same time. I'm very bad at multitasking with that. Can I just hop? Aha! Oh no, I dinged that one already. Alright, I'm going to go up onto this rock and spray it from here. Ugh. Where was I? Their names and general appearances were based off their characters' names, their classes, and partially on how the game wrote their default descriptions. Oh, from Alter Aeon, right. I had a necromancer character a while back called Samuel Clay because Clay has some connection to death, and then Critical Role introduced Caduceus Clay, and the reference became a lot less subtle. Yeah. That's awkward too if you see, like, if you come up with a name and then you see, like, the same sort of root of the name referenced somewhere else, somewhere popular. It's like, oh great, well I'm going to have to change mine now, aren't I? Otherwise people will think you copied it. How far does the spray gun actually reach? Not to that thing there, but to that. So there, right there, that's how far the longest one reaches, because I can't get that bit, but I can get there. Of course, that far away, it's not as good, look. It's not really doing much there. Whereas at this range, it is. So of course there's that's the longest one. That one doesn't even reach there. That one reaches there. That one also reaches there actually. Yeah, it reaches over there. But that one doesn't. That one reaches there, etc. So you got to use the right one for the range you're at. Because, of course, if I use this one here, look, the not only is it just outside of, like, it's actually too close, it's also so narrow a thing that it's not worth using that. But this one here, it's like twice the width. So you got to pick the right one for wherever you're spraying. How come all the buildings are absolutely covered in dirt and grime, but the plants are perfectly fine? That is a good question. All of the grass is completely fine, and everything outside this area is fine. It's just the stuff inside. It's like a dirt bomb went off inside. Oh, God, didn't mean to walk off there. Alright, I'll clean the rock. And it's fine up here as well, but down here is not. It's very strange, isn't it? Oh, sorry, stretching. Trying to think of other character names I've done for TTRPGs. There was, yeah, Fumi I talked about. Ayla. I mean, Ayla is because there's very little information about tiefling names. You know, there's a lot of information about virtue names, but not about actual names. So, as I was very new to D&D at the time, I didn't know what to do for my own one, so I named her after the... How's that cave floor over there? Oh, this is all cave floor. Okay. I named her after the character from Rainbow Six Siege. It was a Polish character, and that's why it's Ayla and not Ella. Even though it's only one L. Who else have I played? Ixalia. I mean, that was a flimsy, loose ripping off of Exusier from Arknights. Not really much I can do to defend that one. Sarah was the super strong halfling I played. That, I think, I used the halfling name generator until I found one that wasn't too halfling-y. I don't like the way halflings are generally portrayed in... halflings or gnomes, frankly. I don't like how they're particularly generally portrayed in D&D lore. And I was going for like a particularly simple sounding name because she was just from an ordinary town. Ordinary town. Sarah was something like the 5th of 7 children or something. Working on a farm. And one day there was an attack. She picked up her axe because she did a lot of wood chopping. She picked up her axe, started fighting, and then just sort of kept doing it because it worked. And that was Sarah, the super strong halfling, or as she said it, strongest halfling in the world. And she was. She actually wielded an angel's axe at one point. Like it was, I can't remember. Is it a diva? The giant celestial angel one? I don't remember. But I have written a lot of other characters. Are these my footprints? No. I have come up with a load of characters, of course, that I've not played. But yes, generally I go by culture and vibe are the two biggest things when naming characters. New theory, the buildings are covered in dirt specifically as some of the keep it cleaner. I didn't write keep it clean. I completely forgot. Keep it clean. In the hopes that his disaster averting power will bless your property. Yep, true. I'm a savior to these people. Provincial dragon cleaner. Oh goody, manure. I love when I find manure in a dragon's den. Your job looks alright. Alright, my ass. I'm a provincial lady. Bet it's well satisfying washing off all that crud and crap. What's this? Stone. Close. It is stone. Yeah, the problem with the messages is because they're so spaced apart, they're like trying to carry a conversation with you where they message you every half hour. And of course I'm occupied talking to myself. I don't pay attention. Oh, didn't mean to jump then. Is this all one big piece of wall? I think it is. Yeah, it is. I find myself using quite normal names a lot. I have characters called Isaac, Hector, Samuel, Matt, Brendan, and Oliver, to name a few. Bloody hell, you have a lot of characters. For my reincarnated folk hero. Yeah, folk heroes, like, you do want to go for, like, a more normal name. Or the opposite, I guess. I was about to say about an idea I have for a character, but I don't know if I'm going to use it at any point, so I don't want to say the idea for it if I'm going to use it, but is that a knob? Did somebody draw a knob on a dragon? I mean, it's very British. For my reincarnated folk hero, I decided all the lives would be named some variation on Matt. Then I immediately regretted it because it's hard to find 7 distinct names that all shorten to Matt. Matthew, Matilda, Matthias. Matthew, Matilda, Matthias. Agamemnon. Agamemmat. Are you not seeing the Twitch stuff? Oh. They should be carrying through. I can see both, so Restream is recognizing them. Hello. Ooh. Thank you for subscribing. Fire Emblem is trash. I've never played Fire Emblem, so I cannot say if I agree or not. Let me have a look. It just ends with 3 dots. Surprisingly hard to find 7 dis. Oh yeah, they are. Or at least, yeah, some of them are. The longer messages are not carrying over. That's interesting. Didn't know that was a thing. Probably hitting the character limit. Yeah, almost certainly. Didn't mean to jump then. Do you hit the ball? You do. You hit the ball and it goes up into the dragon and out its arse, which is apparently above the tail. Dragon anatomy is incredible. I like how it specifies this is a cave dragon, not to be confused with any other kind of dragon. Oh, stretching. My current group is planning to play a game with the Witcher RPG, and I'm thinking of playing a bard. I think I might see if I can get away with naming him after a real-life musician. I'm certain you could. I didn't know there was a Witcher RPG. I mean, I'm absolutely not the intended audience, so that would make sense, I guess, that I've not heard of it. Got it, finally. Bloody hell, that was tricky. Is this all dinged? The border. Nice. Hey, cheese. Nice. Just gonna put that there for a sec. You're also playing Papers, Please. Nice. How is this percentage still so high? Oh, this one isn't. It's a different one. There we are. I was confused because like that percentage is about the last I saw that one on. And it's like, how have I not cleaned more of it? Nice. Oh, there's a sword and the stone. I didn't notice they were both one thing. Why is the windmill swords? Because it's a windmill blade. Very funny. keep jumping because my thumb keeps resting on the spacebar. In other news, I've been playing Lobco to prepare for the next stream. I've been going through a new run from day one. I'm up to day 10 currently. I posted on the Discord the abnormalities I've got to check there weren't any that were really awful, and the answer was no, there aren't. So I will continue on through with that in preparation for the next stream, where I'm going to be continuing from day 45. God, this is a bit of a ball ache here. sec. Okay. Just one hole left. Muckingham must have the biggest park in the bloody world, because I swear I've cleaned like 3 things in this park and you can't see any of them from each other. Sure. Someone thirsty? Sorry. I couldn't resist the pun. Yes, I do need an assistant. You're hired. I have 6,000 in the bank because I get paid excruciatingly high for like 3 hours work. What are your qualifications? Can you hold a sprayer? Can you write keep it clean on any surface? Then you're hired. Oh, can you magically teleport ladders to you? No? Okay, that's not ideal. That's a fairly important skill in my line of work. Oh, it's a knight. Fucking hell, I didn't know what I was looking at. I thought it's like, is that a gnome with a shovel? Well, if you want to be able to teleport a ladder with your magic mind powers, there are schools for that. You know, there are night schools you can go to. Not that kind of night school. I mean schools after dark. You have to practice after dark because of the magic police. And they're like, are you teleporting ladders again? No. Are you sure? No. Well, okay, then I'll leave you to it. Thank you for being honest about your uncertainties in life. Makes you a lot more relatable as a cleaner. And that's how I met your mother. Really wish I'd stop fucking jumping, though. Very annoying. That sounded like a Monty Python skit. Well, thank you very much. just this little front area then. Oh, and the exit stairs as well. Oh, that's where the last ball drops down to. Oh, that's clever. They drop down into the bucket. That is quite clever. I'm just gonna move you out of the way. Just gonna blow my nose for a sec. How is this bucket not clean? Is it round here? Or I can't bloody spray it. It was. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. Almost there now. This one was less of a slog. If it's not too intensive of a topic for a relaxed stream, do you have an opinion on romance in RPGs? What, in TTRPGs or in video game ones? This one was less of a slog than the previous one, because it felt like I was making more progress, but I feel like these bonus levels are way too big. TTRPGs. If it is consented by all players, no problem at all. But as long as it's like a fade to black, is how it's generally described. I think it's a very interesting aspect, and again, it's something that you can't do in games. You know, games you're limited to the one or two people that it lets you, or whatever, however many it lets you, and they generally have very limited interactions. But when it's a TTRPG, you're not limited like that, and you can do some interesting things. But it is best when it's fade to black, so that it doesn't become explicit, because it doesn't need to be. It's not, or at least the games I would play in are not there for that kind of fantasy fulfillment, shall we say. So if you get to the point where that is happening, then I feel it shouldn't be a crowd experience, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to put this in keep it clean terms. But as far as like just like two characters forming a relationship, yeah, no problem at all. Characters and NPCs, no problem at all. Again, as long as it's all fade to black for anything explicit, anything else is perfectly fine by me. But don't have to clean inside the ball chute. I don't think it's fair on the DM or on the other players to have to describe and or hear the descriptions of anything explicit. Unless that's what everyone's there for, in which case, sure, whatever. But unless it's completely agreed upon beforehand, it's like, usually TTRPGs have like a consent form, so you can go through and, sorry, my headphones have just died. Go through and decide what you do and don't want to allow. And TTRPGs, any in general, I guess. Have my headphones on? No. No. They're not charging. Why not? Am I putting it in wrong? Oh. Okay, we're back. Sorry, that was weird. My headphones weren't charging. I hope that answers your question. I can't wait for them to drop a power wash map that has you clean all of Los Santos. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if there's one for like cleaning Grove Street or something. Like 3 houses, a load of cars. But I'm streaming Power Wash again on Friday instead of the usual Lobco stream because it is a free update is coming out, which is in collaboration with Back to the Future. So I presume we'll be cleaning like the DeLorean, probably the clock tower. I expect there'll be a hoverboard in there somewhere. Maybe Marty McFly's house and car. And that's coming out on, I believe that's coming out Thursday or Friday. So I'll be streaming it Friday as soon as it's out, basically. Which is why, sort of why I got back into doing this, because I thought, you know, it's been a little while since I played this. There are the bonus jobs, which I didn't sort of realise they'd added a load of new free bonus jobs. So I thought, yeah, get back into this, do the bonus jobs, and then I'm ready for Back to the Future when it releases. My group did consent like that. I haven't seen the other players' forums because that's a little private, but I assume nobody objected to romance in games. It's been pretty prominent. Something like I like to explore if I trust the GM and players involved. That's fair. Again, as long as everybody's okay with it, then that's fine. But yeah, I'd expect you not to see the other people's forums. It should all be completely anonymous except to the GM. that way no one person feels pressured to agree, because no one knows what anyone else has said. What am I missing? What am I missing? I'm missing a little bit on the exit rocks. Ah, there. That's what I was missing. Yeah, the hoverboard will likely be like next to the DeLorean, in the same way as in the Final Fantasy ones. You cleaned Cloud's sword, and it was just leaning against the bar in Seventh Heaven. So it'll be added as a side thing, rather than being a job on its own. I know how these things work. I've played enough of the collaboration things in PowerWash to know how they like to do them. I just hope it doesn't have too many vehicles, because vehicles are the worst. Piss off, ladder. The train from through... Oh, yeah, the train will definitely be one. So I reckon it'll be... Because they usually do like 5, don't they? I reckon it'll be the DeLorean and hoverboard. Maybe even the DeLorean and train. The train will probably be one. McFly house. The bell tower. The clock tower. That's 4. What would the last one be? Biff's apartment or something? Or like Wild West something. Like a Wild West town, but it's just mostly dust. gutter's clean. That gutter is not quite. Not that I can bloody see anything. It's really awkward when they do ones like this, because it's like everything that is bloody visible from the outside is clean. So it's something where I need a particular angle. And the angle has to be like... Because you can't like swap sides that you're spraying from. So you're always spraying from the right. The bar from 2 with a conflict. Oh yeah, the diner. Like the diner, that could be one. Ah yeah, I bet there'll be like one in Real 88 or Real 84 or whenever it was, one in 82. I can't actually remember when it took place. Yeah, one in like the real time, one in the alternate 80s. One in the past. Ah, like Under the Sea. There could be like one in the school. Right, I'm going to come back to this bit. Yeah, there's a lot they could do. But yeah, I reckon the DeLorean will be one. I reckon the train will be one. But I reckon they'll pick one of the other 3 will be one from each of the main settings or something to, like, justify the whole, time travel. Cleaner, you have to come to the 1960s with me. I made a big mess at the end of the school dance and you need to clean it up before they get here, otherwise you could affect the time stream, cleaner. Quick, you gotta help me. That's what the plot will be, I bet you. Oh no, I made another mess. I poured a load of manure in Biff's apartment. Quick, come and clean it up before Marty sees it. But won't Marty support that? I don't want to encourage that kind of behavior. I lost my temper. He's a young, impressionable 20-year-old man. I don't want to... don't want to get him in trouble. Alright, what am I missing? The battlement wall. Perhaps the prehistoric base that only appeared in the Universal ride that closed 15 years ago. I would wager probably not. Gotcha. Overhangs, 7 of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one. Oh yeah, I see it. Eighth hole. Oh yeah, because that was before I realised the holes needed cleaning. Always clean your holes. That's the 9th hole. This is the 8th hole. Yes, do keep it clean. Keep your 8th hole clean. Fucking hell, which one's the 8th hole? Don't answer that. Moving on. 8th hole borders, 1 of 2. 1. Oh, okay, I missed this one. Bet it's around this side. Yep. Exit steps, one of two. Did this one... Exit steps, one of two. Oh, are they like separate things? Exit steps. Ah, here we are. That little spray there. Fence posts. Oh yeah, the fence over here. Oh, and the whole bottom bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ticks. Fifth hole. 3, 4, 6, 5. Golf ball return gutter. Damn it. Ninth hole, small flooring. Oh, bloody hell, I flew. Small flooring. This one? Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. This one. Oh. And the return gutter, just down here. Which seems impossible to clean. Never mind. Job done. Ooh. Well, that, as I said, was less tedious than the fountain, the gnome fountain. I just hate the fiddly bits. And rust. Rust is very annoying to clean. Anyway, I will call it a day there. Where did I park? That's not my van. Where did I park? Does anyone know where I parked? God, where the hell did I park? I've lost my van. Somebody nicked my van. I bet it was Pip. Lady Pip. She wanted to be my apprentice, and I said if she can't do telekinesis, then it's going to be an uphill slog for her, and she nicked my fucking van. I'll file a claim. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I will be back for the birthday stream Wednesday. Remember, it starts an hour earlier than usual and will go an hour later, so it'll be a 5-hour stream starting at 7 p.m. GMT. Come along and I'm just going to play RimWorld for like 5 hours, or I might switch to something else if I feel like it, but yeah, just be a nice little casual stream ending just after midnight when it'll be my birthday and I'll turn 31. Right. So thank you very much. Hope you join me for that. Make it less depressing. If I'm not alone. Oh, God. Anyway. And I'll catch you later. Thank you very much for watching. If you're watching on Twitch, check out my YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, check out my Twitch. Either way, join the Gary Reeve Discord, which has been linked a few times in the chat. I didn't link it in the chat, did I? I just said where to find it. Below the Twitch and in the description of the YouTube stream. Check out my social media, same place. Check out my Patreon. Pledges on there really, really help. And I will hopefully see you guys on Wednesday. Hello, future people. Goodbye, future people. And I will catch you later. Forgot about this bit. Can I show that again? I think I did a very thorough job. Right, catch you later. Bye-bye.